What's up, everybody? This is Classic Tycoon here, and we're back for episode 3 of the $1 Million Mission, Season 3. In the last one, we built the Wild Mouse and just got the park going, basically. So those are up and running and looking good. A couple things that I wanted to take care of. The first thing I want to do is just try out adding just a little bit of scenery to these first couple rides here. So the Ferris wheel, there's a little gap here between the entrance and exit. I'll throw in a garden right there, and then I'm just going to experiment a little bit. So I'll speed through this stuff, and I'm just going to throw in some fences, and then I'm also going to add a little bit to the motion simulator here. Try to make it look a little bit more interesting. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but I do want to make it look somewhat presentable, rather than everything just looking so bare the whole time. So I just add a couple little pipes here with some gears, and I thought it looked relatively decent along with this motion simulator. So that's what we do first. Let me know if you guys have any tips or tricks to make your parks look nicer without having to go too crazy and building full-scale mountains or anything like that as you go along. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is figure out the next ride that I wanted to build. I thought through it for a little bit, looked through my rides, and what I decided to do is go with a wooden roller coaster. I think it's always nice to have just a big wooden roller coaster at the front of your park to get the guests nice and excited. Something to really make them look forward to what's coming in the rest of the park. So that's what we're going to build next. And yeah, go ahead and enjoy watching me build this thing. Not too much to discuss about it. I do make it a little bit bigger than I typically make my first roller coasters in my park, but I just thought, what the heck, I'll just go with it this time. Might as well. So a nice tall drop to start us off with a big airtime hill, and then we're going to go into some more, or some twisting, and make the roller coaster a little bit more interesting looking. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of trouble here getting the track to weave in between these hills. But this is what we settle on here. I think the coaster's looking decent so far. It's looking a little bit bare over by where I put those initial twists. So I'm going to fill that in next to make it look a little nicer. I really tend to like roller coasters that look very compact and just kind of crazy, like they got a lot going on, even though this isn't the most intricate wooden coaster you'll ever see, but it looks very complicated because of all the twisting going on in the interlocking between the roller coaster. And I don't know, that's just kind of how I've always built my roller coasters. I notice a lot of other guys that I watch build really make their roller coasters spread out, really wide and long roller coasters. And I think they look good that way as well, but this is just kind of how I've always done it, and I feel like that's what I'm what I'm best at. Alright, so we'll put in our final block break section. Then we'll clean this thing up, make it look a little nicer after we test it here. But let's just make sure that everything is good on this. I don't think there's anything in there that's going to cause this roller coaster to not work. But you always got to test it first to make sure anyways. Alright, looks like it makes it just fine. It's a pretty decent wooden roller coaster there. Let's check out our ratings. .59. It's pretty decent rating. And intensity rating of 8.9, pretty high there, but wooden roller coasters tend to have pretty high intensity ratings, especially if you start putting in all those twists and turns and not using bank turns for every single turn. That can increase the intensity rating a little bit, but I'm pleased with it, so we're going to give it a log cabin look. I kind of liked the log cabin look and the woodsy sort of feel that this gave. So I'm going to try to make it look, make the area around it look a little bit more foresty, I guess. I kind of like the look of the sidewalk queue path. And as I build the tarmac footpath here, I just kind of realized it doesn't look that good with all the trees and stuff around, so I switched to a dirt footpath, and I think that fits a little bit nicer. Of course, it starts a thunderstorm right when I open up the roller coaster, so no one will ride it, but that's just the way it goes. A couple of things I can do here. I use a pagoda sign to keep the guests out of the exit, so that looks a little bit better than just a classical sign. And then throw in a couple little shrubs here. As I kind of look through the scenery here, there's not much scenery that would really fit this, but if we throw some shrubs, or some shrub fences, I guess, along the pathway over here, I think that will look pretty nice as well. And then it has the options for different kinds of benches and litter bins, so I think that really helps it, helps the character of the area and the way that it looks a lot, just those little things. Alright, so that roller coaster is up and running. I don't know if you saw, but we changed the name to Grizzly. I thought that was a pretty decent name. Maybe this roller coaster should have gone over by the mountains more. I don't know, but I think it looks fine with all the aspen trees and everything around. It's pretty decent looking roller coaster. The last little bit here, I just do a few management things. Guests are vandalizing the park and stuff, so I have to clean up a little bit. Take a look at the size of the park. It's pretty massive. It's pretty nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much, everybody. If you like this episode, please hit the thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel a lot. And I know I say it a lot, but I really appreciate every single one of you guys, every single one of the people who watch my videos, and all the comments and everything you guys do for me. So thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next one.